How big of a deal could the Indian rupee become globally? India may be trying to increase the role of the rupee in cross-border payments. There may be some challenges at a time when countries are trying to reduce reliance on the US dollar. Many banks have been able to settle trade in rupees with nearly 20 countries with the RBI's permission. Oil exporters like Saudi Arabia and UAE are also being encouraged to use Indian currency for trade settlements. The goal to use the rupee to trade with other countries, but it's not been as successful as it could be. The amount of money traded has been not as much at around $120 million. That sounds like a lot, but total value of all the goods that India traded with other countries was around $1.2 trillion. So compare $120 million and $1.2 trillion. Currently, India's goal to internationalize the rupee has aligned with PM Narendra Modi's vision of elevating India's global significance. This is at a time when India may be experiencing rapid economic growth and could be positioned as an alternative to China in a post-COVID manufacturing world. The Indian government controls how much money comes in and out of the country. They have certain rules in place called capital controls to make it difficult for money to come in and out of India. These capital controls could make it harder for Indian enterprises to trade with other countries. India also has a current account deficit, buying more than selling, which means India has to borrow money from other countries to make up for the deficit. Russia may prefer to be paid in a different currency like yuan or UAE dirham. But there was a surge in cheap oil imports from Russia to India, so Russia had to accept rupees for their oil. So Russia had a large number of rupees that they could easily convert into their preferred currency. That meant that Russia accumulated about $1 billion worth of rupee asset that remained stranded. To deal with the surplus, India has suggested foreign countries to invest in their government bonds and bills. RBI Governor Shashikanta Das has remarked that internationalization is a gradual process, not an immediate target to be achieved by a specific date. Compared to yuan, which has about a 2.5% share as a global payments currency, India is not even in the top 20 of them according to a report. So, is it a dead end for India? Not necessarily. India could be one of the biggest contributors to global growth, and the rupee could be one of the best performing currencies. Some say the rupee has a better chance of being used for a regular transaction than being a reserved currency. What could India do to make the rupee more global? Maybe it would need to allow more money to come in and go out of the country, which is called an open capital account. It would also need to have a lot of assets that people from other countries can invest in. So government bonds and bills investment idea could work. With India's growing economy and its contribution to global growth, how big of a deal can the Indian rupee become globally? What do you think?